Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie Palmeri, a partner with NextView Ventures based in San Francisco. And I'm here with Skyler, one of the co-founders of Gondola, which is AI for frequent travelers. My partners at NextView and I were fortunate enough to basically back Gondola since, I don't know, day
zero.
And so I'm really excited to sit down with you today to talk about the journey here and really more importantly, what the future of agentic travel has in store.
Yeah, couldn't be more excited. It's something that we're thrilled about and just tremendously excited to get started and to share this journey with you guys.
Cool. I want to talk about your journey to be a founder, but before we do that, maybe let's tell everybody here so they're not like on the edge of their seats. What does Gondola do at a high level?
Yeah, Gondola is building AI for frequent travelers. So we think about it as the future of travel that knows you, that's working on your behalf, that is always on and always working to get you the best possible deal, save you the most you possibly can, and earn you the most on your points.
Okay, I love Gondola. You know that. I'm a high frequent traveler and a high Gondola user. But before we go back to Gondola, this isn't your first rodeo, is it?
That's right, yeah. Yes, this is the round 2 on the founder journey. One of those people that was crazy enough to do it again and said, sign me up. And my first company was an AI fitness company. And so we spent a couple of years out of grad school building a company that helped with yoga, Pilates, bodyweight exercises, and gave real-time feedback. And we were excited about that as the kind of future of AI in the fitness space. And it's really what got me started in this AI journey mixed with the consumer lens.
Yeah, and I think it's super cool what you're doing with Gondola now and how you've taken it. You sold that company in 2020 to Peloton. Any lesson learned from running Otari and selling Otari, maybe that you're taking with you on this Gondola journey now?
Yeah, I think so many lessons there, and fortunately, lucky enough to have lived that and be able to carry those forward. But I think some of the big ones are around knowing that you need to embody every part of your product the same way that your customer does is really the only way you get to good in a consumer landscape. And for us with Otari, that was like, we had to go become yoga instructors. And like we had to go...
I didn't know this. Were you a yoga instructor?
I was spending hours a day on the yoga mat.
Way.
Yeah.
Oh,
and we went to every single yoga studio in New York City, and we're just like incredibly dialed on the yoga scene, the Pilates scene. And that was it. It was like, those were our people, and we wanted to spend as much time as we possibly could with them.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely something that we carry with us on the travel side as well. But so there's the customer part of that, and then I think externally there's this other piece where when you raise money, there's this pressure to hire external folks and get other people involved. I think there's this big learning for us in this last company that nobody's ever really going to tell your story the same way that you can. And you need to be owning the messaging and the story and your brand, because nobody can tell that the same way that the founder can. Yeah. So that was one of the big lessons and learnings that we just stumbled on and took us a while to figure out that I've been really excited about on the Gondola side.
Those are super important lessons for consumer in general. And I think as we're in this next wave of consumer AI, the fact that you've lived them once before is such an advantage now.
Painfully in some places,
exactly.
But yeah.
That's what second acts are all about, right?
That's right.
So I said you sold the company to Peloton.
Yeah.
Did you know that you were going to start another company next when you left Peloton a few years later?
100%.
Okay.
Like when I got to Peloton, I was biting down the days until I realized that I could leave and start something new. I didn't know what it was going to be and didn't know what direction that was going to take. But I think once you've lived the founder life and you've had the autonomy and the ability to build and create and go from 0 to 1 on something, it's hard to really ever trade that. And so for me, I was just so excited about the ability to do that and do that better on the next go.
So what led you to, let's just say in general, the travel space?
Yeah. So travel for me, and I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, but travel for me, I was living in Central America and was like an early points hacker. And so my girlfriend, now wife, was living in Michigan. And I was flying back and forth between Central America and Michigan and trying to figure out,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was credit card churning and trying to figure out how do I churn cards and get back and forth as cheaply and freely as I possibly can to keep this girl in my life.
Yeah, so it sounds like it worked out for you.
It ended up working out, and ended up also being just like something that I really truly enjoy on the travel side. And so for me, after wrapping up with Peloton, I looked at this space and was like, this could not be a more interesting time to revisit something I'm really excited about.
I always say, I think that we have these algorithms in our heads, and travel, certainly, especially frequent travelers. Like, I know I have an algorithm in my head, and clearly you must have had one too. But the idea...
The algorithm in my head was free. How do I find free?
Yeah, mine is usually how do I get the cheapest possible hotel that I really want to stay at in New York City.
Yeah.
So my partner Rob always talks about this concept of the idea maze. And it's that period of developing and refining a business idea. Can you share a little bit about the idea maze that you and your co-founders went through as you were getting to what is Gondola now?
Yeah, it was certainly a maze.
Okay.
I'll start with that. And
I know I was
yeah.
in on some of that maze too.
So you saw a lot of dumb things come across your desk there, and I think that's part of it. Because I think one of the biggest parts of the idea maze for us was setting out in a direction with a high-level thesis. So the high-level thesis is that this could not be a more generational moment to redefine what AI and travel is going to look like.
Totally.
And so it's like we know that's coming, and that's the future there. And what that looks like, I think, is a really hard question to answer, and there's a lot of different shapes that could take. And for us, getting through that maze and winding our way was really just about volume of things we could try.
Yeah.
So we did all kinds of different kind of dumb ideas that ended up helping us with small nuggets, small learnings that we could take to solidify and build the foundation around what Gondola is now.
So why frequent travelers?
Yeah. Frequent travelers are frankly just the most interesting thing in travel. It's where the spend is, it's where the loyalty is, it's where people that have preferences and really care deeply about it, those are our people. And we think about it, it's like we want to solve the hardest problems for the power users and then work our way downstream to solving more mainstream use cases.
Travel is a huge portion of GDP spend.
Yeah.
And frequent travelers are obviously like a huge volume of that. That's clearly an interesting market to go after.
Totally.
But are there any other specific insights you had about that frequent traveler market that really you honed in on as you started building for that audience?
Yeah, I think one of the big insights was that this loyalty space is a $500 billion space of points outstanding. That's what's just sitting out there, and credit card points and hotel points and flight points. And you talk to the people that hold those points and they're like, I don't know what to do with them. I know that I have them. I know they're there, but using them is incredibly difficult. It's super hard. I don't know if I'm getting a good deal on them.
I don't even know what they're worth half the time.
Exactly. So that was really the insight, was that you have this community of like power users that are super dialed in on this, but then you have everybody else that has points, has miles, and has status, but doesn't really have the time to play that game or figure it out.
Yeah. Sometimes I almost feel dumb as a frequent traveler because I don't think I'm using my points right. And that's one of the things that I've appreciated about Gondola. A lot of times when I think about some of the best consumer products, they feel magical. They just do something that maybe couldn't do on our own, or they do them in an unexpected way. And I've had a few magic moments using Gondola. For me, you've helped me discover a new favorite hotel in New York, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to share what that hotel is. It's mine, but I'm super excited about it. And you've also helped me feel smarter about my bookings. So like when I log in and I look at my dashboard, I can see the cost of the hotel room now, and I get these alerts if the price is going down, and so I can rebook, and all of that's really awesome. I'm curious, are there features for you that feel magical?
It's magical for me, and every time we get to watch an onboarding session where somebody signs up, syncs, has all of their travel information, all of their loyalty accounts, all of their points balances, their trip history, and their preferences, streaming in all at the same time, and trying to do that in a really quick way. And we get that note from people all the time. That's just like a delightful experience on being able to pull that all together. And obviously the next question is like, what can I do with all that information? And you've got so much there, and it's super powerful. And that part of things is really cool, watching people light up over the savings that they're able to instantly see there.
Yeah.
You know, the high score right now is $2,300.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
$2,300?
$2,300 on same room, same reservation, same dates.
No, wait. Oh, that was like a rebook.
A rebook.
No way.
Yeah. So
wow.
Absolutely
That's
huge
like a
savings.
whole other vacation.
Absolutely huge savings. People, when we get those emails and people are just like absolutely lit up with 20 exclamation points about what they just found, that for us is like the magic moment. That's cool. You're building something that people want, something that people care about, and there's some really strong pull here.
I know that sometimes it's hard to convince a traveler, and especially a frequent traveler, like change their habits and their behaviors. So what are some of the things you've done that draw people into Gondola and get them to start changing where they're booking?
Yeah. That, I think, is a really good question. It's something that we've been working a lot around from a messaging perspective.
Yeah.
And for us, we're trying to communicate this message that Gondola is actually totally different than every OTA that is out there. So if
And
you
just
look
so
at
if people don't know what an OTA is, what's an OTA?
so any online travel agency, any kind of third-party aggregation site, you look at the bank portals, you look at the kind of meta searches out there,
Yeah.
and the very fundamental difference about Gondola is that it's going to do all of your loyalty searches for you all in one place, and then allow you to do direct booking directly with the hotel. So you're going to maximize your points, you're going to maximize your credit card points, plus you're going to earn an additional bit of Gondola cash on top of that. And that for us is like, the people look at that and they're like, cool, this is actually the best way on the internet for me to maximize my points. Like, I can't earn this amount of points anywhere else. And so if I'm going to spend on hotels, this is the place to do it. So that message is the one that's resonating with our frequent travelers.
Now, I guess I'm in a sense incentivized to care, but I actually love that part about it too.
Totally,
That's been a big,
yeah.
it's actually changed some of my booking behavior from this standpoint of, I think my awareness of how much those loyalty points are worth has actually made me more loyal in some cases to some of these chains as well.
Totally. And we see that across the board. And that's why the hotel ecosystem, they're a super important part of this. And our goal is to create wins on their side as well. And they're super excited about us because we're deepening the loyalty connections that they have with their customer. They're excited about these direct bookings. It ends up with a better experience for the customer and the hotel. So it's just been one of these things that's super powerful once it clicks and people get it.
So no magician is going to completely reveal their secrets, so I don't expect you to do that here. But is there anything you can share about what's happening behind the scenes that are maybe interesting for some of our more technical watchers?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of different ways to think about AI and what that looks like in travel. And I think one of the things that we're really excited about is, if you were to frame this and say, what would it look like if you had the points guy in your pocket, working for you 24/7, behind the scenes, trying to figure out, how do I save you money? How do I earn you money? How do I find you money? How do I look to see if like credits are expiring, to make sure that you earn loyalty points at the last place? Those are the kind of things that we're excited about that are going on behind the scenes. So we think about it from a technical perspective, is it's like you've actually got this agent that's running in the background for you that is always on and always trying to figure out, how do we maximize the value of your travel? So that's one of the things we're super excited about, that's like behind the scenes that you actually don't see a lot in the consumer-facing product of Gondola that makes it so powerful.
Yeah. One thing that you do see on the consumer-facing side that I love, and some folks know this about me, I love maps.
Yeah,
so I'm obsessed with the map. Can you share a little bit about the map?
I didn't realize that you also love the map. I'm the map guy on our team, and I'm like, every page.
That's why I get, every time we do a demo, that's why I get
Yeah.
excited about the maps.
I love it. Yeah.
You could probably look at my history and see the amount of time I spend on the map.
All of the map
It's
loads are going to
disproportionate.
this user.
Yeah.
That's great. But yeah, the map part for us is also super exciting. I think you look at travel and there's a handful of different dimensions. You're looking at price, you're looking at the images, and then you obviously care a lot about like, where are you?
Yeah.
And for us being able to localize everything and figure out, I'm going to a specific place in a specific location, and show me what is around that. It sounds like it's a pretty not crazy feature, but something that is hard to find and really magical when you're able to tie those things together.
What's next that you're excited about on your product roadmap?
Yeah, so much. We're at the very beginning of where this is going to go. And if we take a couple steps back on Gondola, we're thinking about, what does the future of AI and travel look like, right? If you think about that world 3 to 5 years from now, our perspective is that is one that knows exactly who you are, that understands the loyalty programs that you hold, your statuses, where you've been in the past, so that every time you show up to a search box on a new trip, it's filled with that rich context of you and your preferences. So that's the kind of the front-facing part of that we see. And then the other side that we see is just this points hacker that's working for you all the time in the background. And so that, I think, materializes in a number of different features. We're super excited about an app that's coming, that's on the horizon. So that part's coming. I think there's maybe some pieces around flights that we're excited about.
Okay, cool.
So that is also on the roadmap. It's one of the things that our users are asking for all the time, and is the next natural evolution of our product.
And you pull in flights right now, right? So I can
right.
look at my flight history, and I can also see where I've flown. I can see where I fly to way too frequently.
That's right. That's right. So it's going to start with a flight rate monitor.
Yeah.
So that'll be the first piece of it. It'll let you know when the price of a flight you booked decreases between when you booked it and when you depart.
Oh, interesting.
So our goal is to help you realize those savings and do the same thing that we're doing on the hotel side, but on your flights as well.
So one of the coolest features about AI, and specifically I think AI travel, is this idea of personalization.
Yeah.
What does a personalized travel search look like?
Yeah. So we get users that show up to Gondola that are like, find me a Marriott hotel that is within a 4-hour flight of San Francisco where I can use my Chase points to transfer them, that's family friendly, that's also going to have a balcony and a pool.
Wait, no, that wasn't me, but it sounds like me.
Yeah, so we get that query, and we're excited about that being something that would be dozens, hundreds of searches that you would need to go spend hours working on. And the way that it works with Gondola is we kick off all of those searches at the same time for you. Then we use AI to summarize them according to your preferences and the places that you've been in the past. And so what's so different about Gondola is our loyalty is to you and to you getting the right answer. So there's no commission ranking in terms of we're going to show you this hotel because we're going to get paid the most on it. It's none of that. It's entirely, we think this is the best hotel for you based on where you've been in the past, and we think we can save you a lot of time and get you exactly to the right answer.
What does it take to get someone to trust that recommendation?
Yeah, such a good question, and one that we spend a lot of time thinking about. And there's two sides to that. We want to make the search super fast for you so you get results immediately. But then the question is like, how do I know this is the right answer?
Yeah.
So it's like we looked at 1,000 different combinations of hotels, stay dates, locations, etc. And our goal is to say, here's the right answer, and here's how we know it's the right answer, and show you the work. So you can double click on that and open that and say, cool, like we looked at 1,000 different ways. Here are all the different ways I can slice and dice this to see the work and understand how did I get here and why does this make the most sense?
All right, let me start by saying that I'm grateful that you chose to work with me and my partners at NextView. Can I put you in the hot seat and ask you why?
Yeah, absolutely. For us, my co-founder and I were thinking, this is a big project that we want to swing really big on. We're looking at this thinking this is a 10-year journey that we are going all in. And when you think about it and you take a step back and think about it through that lens, it's really about who do we trust and who are the people that we want to share in that journey with. So from that perspective, it was like a hands down, no brainer, easy decision. Stephanie from day zero, she's the right person. And we want her involved as soon as we possibly can. So that's how we thought about it. Working with you and your background and the way that you think about things from a consumer perspective and the business side of that, coupled with you from a product perspective being a power user, really just made the perfect match and a ton of sense for us.
I'm really honored to be on this journey with you guys, and it's extra special for me as a consumer of the product too, because I think that right now it's so interesting to be investing at the intersection of consumer and AI, and to realize that there's going to be so many great products built doing things that would have been almost impossible before. I will ask this question, which is, what's the best and worst part of having your board member be a, maybe not the most extreme power user, but certainly a very active user of your product?
Yeah. The best is that we get insights all the time in terms of things that...
all the time.
Yeah. We get insights frequently about how you are perceiving things in a way that is different than the way that my co-founder and I are thinking about things. And so I think that's maybe the best part is like you bring in insights to the table all the time that are tremendously helpful, that have shaped the direction of what you do.
Yeah.
The drawback is you often know about things that are broken before I do.
That's
and,
true.
And you let me know, and that's something we're super grateful for that. And that is just like equally important that we have that relationship, that you're like, hey, I'm going to tell these guys right away that something's not working.
Totally.
And your patience with those things is also just tremendously helpful and valued from a partnership perspective.
I feel like I have the world's greatest customer service team helping me with my travel right now.
We're excited about that.
No, but in all jest, I am excited to be like an early tester, and I know that it's a handshake agreement as you're releasing things for me to try things out and figure out where on the edge these things might be challenging. You see a lot of super interesting data from your users.
For sure.
Could you share a few things that you're learning and some of the insights you have about how Gondola is working from that?
Yeah. So a couple things that we're super excited about is that everybody has these points. They're out there. The average person is signing up to Gondola, and we're able to find $3,000 on average per person is the average points balance that's just sitting out there.
Oh, wow.
So that's one of the things that just lights us up to be able to connect those dots and bring those things together. When you look at it from an earnings perspective, the average user is redeeming 16% cash back
Wait, 16%?
16%.
Oh, wow.
So that's when you stack the credit card points,
Okay.
plus the hotel loyalty
Yep.
points, plus the 3 to 5% gondola cash that we give you as well.
That's right.
So the high end of that ends up being 25 to 26% if you've got certain co-branded cards plus loyalty points or plus loyalty status. So that's one of the things that for our users that when they see those numbers, it's, oh, this clicks, this is a no-brainer on that.
You spend a lot of time talking to users, don't you? I know I'm a board member and user,
Yeah.
but I'm certainly not really guiding the product roadmap, even though I joke about it. So tell me a little bit about what you learned from speaking to users and how important that is.
Yeah, that's been one of the most important things that we've set up and have systematized for us that we're building. New users, when they sign up, we will send out an email to them and we let them know we'd love your feedback and would love your take. And I've got 2 days every week that are stacked with customer calls. And those calls are just tremendously helpful for us to understand how customers are perceiving the product, what areas they're struggling in, what areas they're excited about, and also helping us flesh out what is the future direction that we should be building.
I don't know about you, but it feels to me like we're still in inning 1 or inning 2 of what's possible within consumer AI.
Totally.
As you look ahead, what's something you think Gondola will do in the future that maybe feels like almost impossible sitting in the seats we're in today?
Yeah, I think it's a lot about connecting the dots. So much of what we see in travel, and I think what we see broadly in kind of consumer and the way the AI landscape is evolving, is that there's just disparate systems everywhere that all have different parts of data that are all really hard to connect.
Yeah.
So we look at travel and it's like you've got the points side, you've got the trip side, you've got the hotel booking side, you've got the trip management piece of it. It's just all of these disparate things that exist in the ecosystem today. And our role as this AI landscape evolves is to figure out how do we connect these dots in a way that is loyal only to our customers, in a way that puts them first and helps them earn money, save money, and find more money in their points.
So if there's folks that want to check out Gondola, where should they go?
Super simple. It's gondola.ai. It's a one-click sign up and could not be easier.
Cool. Before we wrap up, let me ask you one more question.
Yeah.
Any advice for a second-time founder starting their second company?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. And I think maybe one of the most important things is spending a long time to think about the direction that you want to start running in before you get started.
Yeah.
It was certainly not something that I did on the first company. I came out of grad school and I was like, I need a job. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And on this go around, spending the time to think long and hard around what is the thesis that you want to run at and who do you want to run that journey with were just incredibly important things for me there. And I think the other piece too is as a second-time founder, you've got this piece of your last company following you.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to think about that. And for a while, I felt like I needed to live up to that and that there needed to be something else and it needed to be bigger.
Yeah.
And now I'm here and am sitting with my co-founder and we're like, you know what, this is just an amazing journey and we're just excited to enjoy the view on it and excited to build, knowing that we're working with the right people in the right direction.
You guys have been really intentional about building this, and
Yeah.
it also seems like you're having a lot of fun, which I think is important too.
Yeah, we're having a blast. I don't think either of us have ever had this much fun working together.
Yeah.
So
I want to thank you for taking time to talk with me and sharing the Gondola story today. I'm really excited to be an investor and for my partners and I to be involved in Gondola, and I'm also excited to be a power user, so thank you, Skyler.
we're so grateful. So thank you.
Thank you.